Okay, great. We are on air now, and our next guest is Kohei Kurhana. Kurhana, is your turn. If you're ready, yes, you can share a screen if you wish. And now your turn, just go ahead.
Okay. Can I share the screen?
Yes, for sure.
Uh, I think the host is control. So um, I'm sorry for late my presentations, but I'm very glad to all the audiences, also the organizers, to make a very warmly help. So this kind of the thing this happens on the online conference, but I'm very confident this kind of the thing is a very great improvement in the futures. So today's my presentation is the new idea to get the recovers um, for our sustainable economy. I'm very happy to have a great conversation with you guys, all the audiences, and also let's consider the great future together. My profile is several backgrounds regarding the blockchain and the public space. Also, I'm working on the blockchain identity project to develop the new solutions for enterprises, especially they can minimize their own data as much as they need it. Then they also can use their own data. So this is our solution-wise approach. They also are a part of the Government Blockchain Association. This is the nonprofit, the state based in Washington. We deploy the chapter leadership to make the communities to enhance the new technology into the public space. Today, I want to talk about the future direction, how we can make an empowerment with blockchain-based identity solutions. In the COVID-19, we are facing the very big challenging situations. According to the IMF, our annual economic growth is shrinking into the 3% in total this year. This is the very big affections for us, for all of us, the worldwide. And of course, some economy has been suspended, they stopped. This means that the many people is losing their jobs, they're losing opportunity to make money. So this is a very big challenge for us. A lot of the people is needed to get back to the normal. They also, we need to change the style of the workforce. Right now, we doing is like the online conference, the online based, the style of the business communications. However, this is not a perfect because not all the percentage of the people is working online. Many people is working on the real business. Also the retail, the shops, where a lot of the people is catering the services, the face-to-face communications. So that's why we need to consider how we can get the normal with the new technologies. So there's some Japanese analysis shows the online communication is the one of the stressful factors, the situations. Almost 45% of the Japanese worker is in a stress, the online chat or online business because of the lack of the communications, the lack of the interactions in between the boss or colleagues, the managers to knowing each other. So this is a kind of isolations. We need to consider how we can make new things with the new technology to get the recovers. To get back to the normal, we have some problems. Actually, we don't know who is infected around you when we go back to the workforce, or there's some intervals when you commute to the office or any other places to meet the clients. to have a communication with some your colleagues or staffs. So this is a very big problem and challenging situations. However, we are trying to collect like more informations from the individual, but the problem is this kind of the actions is succeeding to the surveillance or any mandatory actions, such as when you go to the shops, you need to take in the temperature of the cell. In this sense, there's some people's data is being stored on the public services, the public institutions. The government is controls the data. I think this is a very one of the big fearful things. Under some data protection law, this is in a controversial at this moment. To achieve this goal, some company is trying to develop the services such as the contact tracing. The Google, the Apple, they cooperate together. There's some voluntary project like PET, the PT is the European Academy project has started to develop the new solutions to protect the people against the coronavirus. So this kind of the things that happens, but we are in the situations how we can to make a more privacy preserve the solutions in the conditions. This is the choice and the questions for us. So we choose the privacy lost or privacy preserve. Of course, we have to take in a both, but the problem is it's very hard to take in the balances. My choice is in the privacy preserve, which is more comfortable under the data protection, of course, our basic rights. The privacy remains has been a comment on our judgment. There's some like the rules like in Europe, there's data protection laws already. Of course, some other countries in the Americas, the states in California has started. This means that we need to change their mind, the elections towards the privacy preserving the much more better actions. So my idea to go back to the normal of the business actions is all the data is yours. So this is a very important. Also you can choose the minimize the data to give a enterprise or any third parties. These processes is like very important. Not all the centric authority is a control yourself. You can control the data, has an ownership. This is a very important. Once you get the credential from the health authorities, you don't have to take everything to release the third parties such as the companies or any other the physical actions. So this is the idea how we can prove that your privacy isn't protected. We have a hybrid things on identity, the featured identity and privacy protection. This is a very important. The blockchain that works to achieve them both the processes in one way, the infrastructure level. So identity is a key part of the layers to achieve an application of blockchain. The identity is will be connected to your own events. When you go to the office, you just show your identity. You can share the identity to your activities around your life. This is a very important things. The privacy is a very important. In the future's identity is in like the many important topics is the security purpose or the minimize the data. I think the security is going to increase the more the cost and the security purpose. But I think the blockchain will give us the alternative actions, less and less in the data. This is the futures, the elections where we can go. Some project has been started to provide the infrastructure, such as the COVID Credential Initiative. This is a voluntary work. We organize the governance system to prove that your identity is stored in the privacy preserve. This kind of voluntary thing this happens on the blockchain-based identity so far. Our action is just a kind of the very simple, the very excellent the user interface, which is just a download the app to scanning you can control the data to minimize the as small as the data can be stored on other third-party database. These authentication processes is much more comfortable than all the user-centric. This is a new solution, the blockchain-based identity. Finally, we get to use this identity just on the scanning the QR code. Then also you don't have to touch anything. So this is a very important when we consider to be a protected in coronavirus. The futures we envision this kind of identity is helping all the employees or workers to get a normal without a fearful of the coronavirus and COVID-19. This kind of identity solution will be the futures. Also, I'm very happy to talk with you about it. So thank you for the listening to my presentation. Let's connect on LinkedIn or anything to have a talk the future visions. Thank you for my presentations.
Yes, go ahead. You are finished?
Yes, that's finished.
Okay, good, good. You know, you have been back into your time. It's very good and very respect to you as well. You know, maybe some question from our side. Just let me check from our chat. Just give me
sure.
A couple of seconds. You know, in my understanding, I have to read the question from the our audience. The GDPR is much more implemented in Europe. How it will going to be launched, or how it going to be launched in Asia, in Japan as well? Just give us some kind of description how it working there.
Okay. I think in the Asian countries we have a very different data protection law. So we have to consider the customize your services within a specific proposal. The great example in Singapore, they had developed the like a blockchain, not a blockchain, but they are very privacy preserves the COVID tracing apps. So they are the very serious and taking care of the data protections. But I think like in China, the South Korea is been a more surveillance style. So even in Asia, we have a very different rules and different mentality and cultures. I think it's better to find the directions first, what the government think about it. They also making the great communications, they localize the processes, the data storage. In particular, in Japan has been started. There's some discussions, but we are very conservative. The privacy DDs. So a lot of the Japanese enterprises and the Japanese voluntary staff is they're talking about the privacy, which is very important.
Yeah, for sure. You know, just give us a big comparison between Japan and between China, because all the Chinese people are much more, maybe less interested in their privacy as well, or maybe I'm somehow been mistaken. Just give us a bit more information about that.
Okay, I think the Chinese Chinese style is the control, the based on the centralized ownership. Of course, this is there's some effect when it comes to the consider the less and less the spreading of virus. But the problem is you can't control your own data. So this is in a trade-off. If you want to control your own data, there's sometimes the totalitarian actions is not works. So yeah, this is a very the controversial and good questions. But my answer is we need to customize the trade-off to your privacy or hold to the privacy even the virus is not been solved at once.
Okay, perfect. You know, thanks a lot for your presentation. My pleasure to have you today on this great event. Kohei, nice to meet you. Yes, we're going.
Thank you.
On the air. Yes, see you later.
Thank you.
Okay, bye-bye.
Bye.